All right, thanks for joining. So welcome to the GitLab Fuzz Testing 13.2 kickoff call. I'm Sam Kerr. I'm a principal product manager here at GitLab, focusing on fuzz testing. And what we're going to do as part of this meeting is review what our plans are for the upcoming 13.2 release as it relates to fuzz testing, talk a little bit about the details of what you can expect in that release, and what we're going to be targeting for the release as stretch goals. So really the key overall theme of this release is GitLab wants to put out our initial preview release of coverage guided fuzz testing. So this is going to be all about leveraging the new technology from the Fuzzit acquisition, which we recently announced, and bringing that into the GitLab product itself. And so as part of 13.2, we've got 3 issues which we're tracking, and I've got those shared on the screen right now. And so let's review each one from top to bottom. So the very first issue we have is implementation of the Fuzzing CLI to actually run the fuzzing jobs. And what this issue is about, it's part of a larger epic which involves actually bringing that Fuzzit technology, that Fuzzit engine into GitLab and allowing end users to run that as part of their pipelines. There's some more detailed requirements in the overarching epic, so let's take a look at that and talk about what this issue means specifically. So as part of this issue, what we're going to be doing is providing a CI job template file, tentatively named fuzzing.gitlab ci.yaml. And this is going to be very similar to how end users would include SAST or DAST as part of their pipelines. They'll include this template file at the top of their CI pipeline, and then provide any sort of application-specific configuration that's needed to actually tell GitLab's pipeline how to run coverage guide fuzz testing against their application. And that's really what this issue is all about. It's all about doing the technical underpinnings to get the fuzzing engine into GitLab, get it into a pipeline job, and then present that as a YAML file that users can include in their own pipelines. So notably, this issue is marked as a, that's the wrong issue. Notably, this issue is marked as deliverable. So this means we're very confident, we have a high amount of confidence that this issue will ship in 13.2. And so you can reasonably expect to see it when we release this release of GitLab on July 22nd. So if we look at our next issue in our board, we're going to be focusing on coverage guided fuzzing results download. So let's take a look at this issue. So what this issue was all about is actually being able to provide the results of a fuzz test to our end users so that they can consume them in some meaningful way. Once we've actually run the fuzz test, we've found crashes, we've found faults, all sorts of different pieces of information from the fuzzing engine. And for that to be effective, we need to actually present that to users in some way. And so what we're doing with this issue is taking a minimal approach and bundling up all the different artifacts that fuzz testing is going to be creating and providing that as a downloadable archive or a zip file to end users. Once they've downloaded that archive, they can look through all the different results. They'll be able to see what sort of inputs generated crashes, details about those crashes, and then be able to take the next step in terms of actually fixing or mitigating the issues that were found. So with that said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's take a look at some of the designs we have on this issue. So one of the things we're going to be targeting with this is adding fuzz testing to the configuration screen, similar to how you see other security scanners inside of GitLab Secure. So you'll be able to very quickly see, yes, this is enabled, or no, this is not. I should go enable this in my project. Secondarily, after a fuzz test is run, the way that we plan to present the results to end users is this button right here that I'm moving my cursor around. So there will be a new download report button. You'll click it, and that'll give you that zip or that archive file I mentioned previously with all of those different pieces of information about the fuzz testing that ran as part of your pipeline. We have plans to expand this, provide a richer sort of interface with more information about fuzz testing results, and this is our first step towards getting there. Notably, this issue is also deliverable for the 13.2 milestone. So again, we have a high level of confidence we are able to deliver this, and this can be reasonably expected to ship on July 22nd with our upcoming release. And to look at our final issue on this board is coverage guide fuzzing documentation. And so what this issue is all about is We want to be able to actually make it so you as an end user understand what fuzzing is and how to use it inside of GitLab. There's a lot of different things that we want to be able to cover as part of the documentation to make sure that the concepts and the theory of fuzz testing make sense and are clear, as well as the actual tangible steps needed to run fuzz testing in GitLab are clear as well. So that's what this issue is all about. And you'll see this documentation in line with all of the other documentation for the GitLab secure scanners. Notably, this issue is marked as a stretch goal for this milestone. So while we think there is a reasonable chance that we'll be able to complete this by the release, this is one that there is some more uncertainty in our ability to complete this by July 22nd, as we're going to need to go back and forth a number of different times and ultimately get this documentation right before we call it done. And that is the conclusion of the items that we're going to be focusing on that are deliverable and stretch direction items as part of GitLab 13.2. We're incredibly excited to be bringing this first preview release of fuzz testing for coverage guided fuzzing, and would love to hear what you think about it. Feel free to tag me. I'm St. Kerr on GitLab in an issue. Would love to hear your comments, your questions, concerns. And thank you very much. And we will see you on the next fuzz testing release kickoff call. Have a good day.